Welcome to Your Black World News. I'm your host, Roosevelt Mitchell III. Earlier this week in Ferguson, Missouri, a 9-year-old girl was shot and killed. The 9-year-old was at home doing homework on her mother's bed when someone opened fire on the home, injuring the mother and killing the 9-year-old. This news shook the entire St. Louis region, prompting the St. Louis Cardinals president and wife to offer to pay for her funeral services. A vigil was held in her honor where the officer who responded to the call and made it to the scene broke down.
As a mother, I was hurt. I showed emotions. I cried. I said a prayer for her, and my heart is still broken. And that's why we're pleading to the public and the community who's backing us, who's supporting us and the family to help us solve this case.
Sadly, there has been no arrest and no information, and now investigators have offered a $6,000 reward for anyone with any information leading to the arrest. And the community and a majority of St. Louis are up in arms about this because just a day after was when the 18-year-old was shot and killed by the police, and there were riots and people were protesting. And people are outraged about where's the protest for this 9-year-old girl who was doing homework and shot and killed in the community of Ferguson, and no one knows anything. So here to discuss this with me is owner of A&A Inspirations and mental health expert, Candace Cox. How you doing today, Candace?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. In this case, investigators offer a $6,000 reward for any information leading up to the arrest of the person who did the crime. So my question is, what role does a community play in protecting our children?
I mean, to be honest with you, the community plays the role of being a village. You know, do you remember the saying that it takes a village to raise a child? You know, that's what role the community plays. And for some reason, you know, there has been a huge breakdown in the village as a whole. And we within the community are starting to look for other people to help us when we need to be doing better at helping ourselves. You know, being honest about it, you know, this baby being killed, it breaks my heart. I have a 9-year-old. So, you know, I cannot imagine me looking at my baby one minute, walking past my room and she's on my bed doing homework, and then the next minute my baby is gone. And the community not standing up and turning in the person that did it. There's no way, form, or fashion that nobody knows who took this child's life. But for some reason, we have this mindset that we have to be more dedicated to this hood when the hood is not doing anything for us but killing our babies. And we keep saying that, you know, Black Lives Matter. And yes, they do matter. But in regard to the community, in our community, who do Black Lives matter to? They're not mattering to the people that are walking those streets because they're taking Black lives. They're not mattering to the patrolmen that are patrolling those streets because in some instances they are taking Black lives. It's not mattering to the people that are pouring money into the, you know, the community, or not pouring money in but getting money out of the community, because to them it's not seeming like Black Lives Matter. It, you know, life has to start being of value to the people that are within the community first, so that other people are going to buy into the fact that Black lives really do matter, and then something starts to happen. So basically, we need to be a village.
The day after this child was killed was when the police officers killed the 18-year-old black boy for supposedly or allegedly waving a gun at them. Okay, and then, as we all know, it was a big riot where a lot of protesters and you know, people came out for that cause, and there has been a lot of outrage all week long because this baby gets killed and nothing like that happens. So what are your thoughts on that? I mean, how do we as a community or as a culture pick and choose which causes that we fight?
You know, it's something called cognitive dissonance, you know, where we are more willing to take on the lies, the pretty lies, instead of looking at the non-pretty truths. And, you know, when you look at the whole situation, for some reason, we are more willing to be outraged when something happens in regards to the police, but we're not being outraged when something happens in regards to our own. You know, it's kind of split, and there's things that are kind of sketchy around what happened to the young man. And, you know, in my mind, I feel like, you know, nobody deserves to die. You know, that happened. But I do feel like this baby, she was 9. She was innocent. She wasn't able to do much of anything. There should be more of an outcry. I love the way that, some people within the community came together. They had a vigil and everyone prayed and everyone, they let go of balloons and everyone was there to deal with the emotions behind it. But now there has to be something done in regard to taking the people off the streets that are actually hurting our babies and helping us hurt ourselves.
Thank you so much for your time, Candace, and I would like to give you the last word.
Basically, this is it. I am a licensed clinical social worker within the St. Louis community, and we need help. We got to start talking about this stuff. We have to start having these conversations that we don't want to have. We have to start acknowledging the things that we are ashamed of and acknowledging the things that we are embarrassed about, and we got to start getting real with ourselves. If you feel like you are at a point where you're ready to start working on the things that are barriers in your life and are barriers within the community, please reach out. We are always here for you. You can contact us at www.aainspirations.com, or you can call us at 314-898-6541. We want to help you help yourself, because it's important to strengthen the community, one family at a time.
Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this segment of Your Black World News. Until next time, my friend, be blessed and be encouraged.